Hey, this is Bastard Brown. Milking the mind, living the bad, speaking the red. Let's build the
Peace. Peace. Peace to all human families of the planet Earth. Peace to Allah's 5% nation. This is your host, Master Brown Seed, and you are now entering Build the Cipher, right? We're on episode 31. The title, Living Free, right? True freedom doesn't come from money or status, but from living a culture that reflects your truth and divine self, right? In 31, in our supreme mathematics, that's understanding knowledge. When you understand the knowledge, when you understand the knowledge of yourself, you are truly free. You are now free in the dome, free in your mind because you have the knowledge of yourself. If you have knowledge of yourself, you are free mentally because you're living out a way of life that makes you free, right? When you start to walk it like you talk it and start living this life in your culture, then you become free mentally, right? Freedom, they say, applies to fall in your more. So these are life stages that you're going through to become in that free state of mind. You know, everything goes through steps, stages, and degrees, right? It's a never-ending battle in your mind to be free, right? So that's understanding knowledge, right? In that degree, it tells us to make devil, what must one first do? To make devil, one must first begin grafting from the original. So when you start to graft from your original mind state, you are now in the midst of losing yourself. And you cannot be free when you're losing yourself, right? Understanding knowledge is to know who is the original man. It comes to the clear perception that that's yourself. And now you have freed yourself from that bondage of being dumb, deaf, and blind, right? You're no longer in the triple stages of darkness, right? So let's begin. Segment 1. Culture as your daily mathematics, right? Your culture is your math in action. The way you live day to day, right? That's why we say culture is a way. It's a way that you live it. It's a daily routine. Once you do something repetitiously, it becomes your way of life. Because now you start living it. That's why we say we walk it like we talk it. You can't talk it and not live it. It don't go inside with each other. If you talk it, you have to be living that lifestyle. You can't walk around and act like you a killer, but you never killed nothing. You can't walk around and act like you're a doctor and you don't know nothing about medicine or the body or what makes things cause to happen. You don't know how to examine a situation. So you can't say that you're this, a doctor, if you never lived that lifestyle. You can't front. See, there's a saying that people fake it to make it. But after a while, people start to see the truth about you. You can't fake it, but for so long. You know what I mean? That's why we say your culture is your math in action. It's what your actions show how you're living, right? Your actions, which is your wisdom, it shows in your culture how you're living. Not about just what you're talking, about what your actions say within your culture, right? If your culture is toxic, destructive, or imbalanced, you'll never feel free because you're trapped in Pelon in the mindset of a P-law. You locked yourself in somewhere, and now you're not free. You have to break the mental chains that have you locked down in your mind. You have to free yourself from the bondage of dumb, deaf, and blind and come out of that mental death space, because many can recover from a mental state and be free through the knowledge of themselves, right? Freedom comes when your life aligns with your truth, right? You can't say that you're living in truth and you don't think if that's not what you know, then you can never be free in that truth, because you're still going to have doubt. And doubt causes you to be dissatisfied. So you can't say that you're living in truth, because living is a way of life. If I live in my truth, then that's what I'm going to live in, and nobody can come and take that truth away from me. I'm free in the mind to live that. That's my peace. Know what I mean? Segment 2. Breaking mental chains. Many are still in a mental slavery, right? Even if they look free. Looks are deceiving. People know how to, like we say, wear that face. But are they really free in the mind? They're just looking, right? But people are still locked down in the mental chain of their mind. Like I'm telling y'all, man, it's a mental slavery. Psychologically, a psychological warfare upon your mind to keep you believing in a mystery God is searching. Once you search, you lose focus of yourself and you start to chase the madness in life. You have to stay focused on you. When you don't have no knowledge, understand, you're not free. And then that becomes butt break, rain, hail, and snowflakes. And they'll continue daily to teach this to you. Because they know that you can't think for your what? For yourself. Right? No. When you try to break the mental chains, you have to start breaking the chains of debt. You have to start breaking the chains of bad habits, toxic relationships. These are the new age chains that's been placed on you. Getting stuck in six in a materialistic world that holds no weight to your mind. Your mind doesn't need all this materialistic stuff. I'm not saying it's not good to look fly, to have nice clothes, because that's a part of cultural refinement. Keeping yourself clean, ironing your clothes, getting haircuts, taking care of your hygiene. This is a way of culture being refined. But we don't take advantage of it and just be spending ruthlessly when you know that your lights need to stay on, but you want a Gucci bag. See, it don't add up. Now you got a Gucci bag, but your lights is off. Your priorities are not aligned with the things that you say you're living in your life. Because you're still caught up in Patmos, where the people are at, trapped in six. You have to get out of that mind frame. You know what I mean? Freedom starts by cutting what doesn't serve your growth, right? To be free, you have to sometimes cut people off. Things that are affecting your growth and development. They said if you want to be rich, you got to be around people who's rich. You got to be around people who are smarter than you in the room. You can't be around people who's not smarter than you, because they drag you. They thin your blood. And then you're no longer the same, because now they're taking you out of your element. They're blood sucking you. They don't mean to blood suck you, but that's what people do. They blood suck you. They drain you. They thin your original blood until you're no longer the same, and then you start acting other than yourself, and you lose your freedom of who you are, your freedom of thought, your freedom of a person. So you have to always stay in the mind of yourself, brothers. You know what I mean? Segment 3. Discipline creates freedom, right? Discipline may feel restrictive, yet it is the root of freedom. You have to have discipline for yourself to be free. Discipline is controlling yourself, not letting yourself fall off the edge into a civilization that's going to have you not free anymore. Yaqub did not build prison houses for his own people. When one fell victim, the penalty was death. It is enforced on everyone who fell a victim. Right? When you're locked up, the penalty is death. If people don't remember you no more, you're not on nobody's mind when you're locked up like that. People are not thinking about you. That's worse than death, because now you're in a place where people are still living and you not. You stuck. They got you with the psychological warfare in your mind. They try to tear down your body. These are the effects of you losing your freedom yourself, because you let yourself fall off the edge all off the ledge, and then off the edge into the devil's civilization of 6. When you go run up in the store, you pull that gun out and you shoot somebody, what you gonna lose? Your freedom. The most important thing that you have in your life is your freedom to create space, freedom to move around as you will. Because what we have is a will to live, a will to explore, a will to do so much more. And you have to stay in the mindset of your will. And that servant which not knew his will, neither did according with that, shall be beaten with many stripes. That's losing your freedom of self. You know what I mean? Without structure, you're enslaved to chaos. Structure brings discipline. Structure brings peace. Structure brings law and order. That's what structure is, a foundation to stand on. Your structure is strong, and you live in that structure of peace of mind. Free, again, freedom to live out that way of life that you say that you live out. Not caring what other people think about you. It's only about you and your freedom to live. You know what I mean? Living a culture of discipline gives you the power to move as you will, just like I was just building on. Gives you that power to move at will, because you're free. Your mind can travel. You travel in places. This is one thing that you can't let the devil take from you, is your mind. The mind is the best thing to have. And once somebody can control your mind, you are lost. You must be the sole controller of your mind. Because mind is matter. And mind and matter means that you care about yourself. You is what matters. You know what I mean? Segment 4, we're going to discuss living free in a captive world, right? Living free in a captive world. Society will always try to confine you with rules, lies, try to take over your mind, right? With lies, try to rule you, control you. You can't allow that, somebody to take control of you, right? The 5% live free because we do not allow the world to define us. When you are free, you don't let the world define you. You define yourself. The definition of a man, you should know, because if you're a man, then you can define that. But you are in life. When you have no knowledge of yourself, then you don't know what defines you. The devil will teach and keep you illiterate and ignorant and use you as a tool and also a slave so that he can master you. You have to be the master. I, self-law, am master because I master the law. I live by an order that keeps me at peace and free, right? Freedom is not just theory. It's the choice you make every day. It's a choice you make every day to stay free, right? Either you're going to live life the right way and be free, or you're going to be life the wrong way and be imprisoned. Mentally imprisoned, because now they got you in the box, and the only thing you got to do is your mind to live. And if you're not moving and making things happen, your mind is limited to a space. All you can do is reminisce, right? That ain't freedom, brother. As we continue on, you know what it's time for. It's time for some affirmations. I give affirmations to my people. I want y'all to affirm this and use these affirmations, man. They're good affirmations. Good to say. Be grateful in life, man. The first, I want you to affirm this. I cut off chains that try to hold my growth. That's one. I cut off chains that try to hold my growth. Right? Number two, discipline is the root of my freedom. Number two, discipline is the root of my freedom. Think about that. Number three, I am free because I live in the knowledge of myself. Number three, I am free because I live in the knowledge of myself. Those are today's affirmations. Take them as you will. Use them. Repeat them in your daily life. And be that master of your freedom. You know what I mean? As I begin to close the build, today we built on culture. Freedom applies to 40 or more, because they say when you go through your understanding stages in life, you now become into the understanding. And when that understanding is born to you, you are now free in the cipher. Free in the cipher. Free amongst the people. Free to explore the places. Freedom of the things that you know and you can share with the people. And you're not afraid to share your thoughts. Express your words. Be yourself. That's a great freedom when you can be yourself and not have to fake it because you don't want people to put you in a box. You know what I mean? Freedom is not given, it's lived. You have to live in this way of freedom. You know what I mean? Your culture is what sets you free or locks you down. It all depends on how you build or destroy with it, how you take your freedom. Like I said, it can set you free or it can lock you down. It all depends on the master. If you're in 24,896, you're dealing with the equality of the devil for the determined idea of doing something that's not right and exactly with your culture, or you're going to live in the mind state of God in 25,000 years. Being shown to prove your wisdom is power. And you can control that with a balance, man, of your equality in life as being God, moving in the good orderly direction. God over devil. You know what I mean? Don't just claim freedom. You got to live it, right? And with that being said, it's your brother, your host, Master Brown C. Continue to build the cipher. Hit that like button. Share. Subscribe. And always build the cipher. Peace.